David Taub here with John Coupal from the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. He was speaking at the Fresno Rotary Club downtown today. John, thanks for joining us. Now, we just finished the latest legislative session in Sacramento. What bill should taxpayers be concerned with the most? I mean, there's hundreds, literally hundreds of pieces of legislation. So what captured your attention?
Well, as a taxpayer advocate, the biggest problem, of course, is all the tax increases. We had a new gas tax, we had additional fuel costs in the form of the cap and trade bill, and we also had a very damaging tax increase on all real estate recordings that could add up to $225 per real estate transaction, including things like refinancing your house. All those taxes added together on top of California's highest in the nation tax burden is making it very difficult for Californians who want to stay here. And we're seeing more and more individuals moving out of state because of California's both the tax policy and regulations.
We are seeing a number of gubernatorial candidates come to Fresno. Antonio Villaraigosa was here last week. You personally, or you as a part of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, who is going to be the most tax-friendly governor in 2018?
Well, first of all, I assume that means who's going to be the most tax-friendly candidate. I think the most tax-friendly candidate may not be the one that wins. Unfortunately, with this state, with the political winds blowing the way they have, I think taxpayers are going to be threatened by whoever the next governor is, because the Democrats have odds on favor of winning the gubernatorialship like they did last time. It is possible, however, that someone could come, an independent would come out of from somewhere and run a credible campaign, speak directly to Californians about the economy, and they could do well. So right now, there's a number of candidates. The Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association does have a political action committee, but we won't be announcing any support until we see how the field gels. It'll be some time before we make a decision on who we endorse.
Now, as you mentioned, the three front runners, all Democrats, between Gavin Newsom, the lieutenant governor, or the treasurer, John Chung, or Antonio Villaraigosa, former mayor of Los Angeles. I mean, who can taxpayers kind of put their ball behind among those three?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because what they say during the campaign may not be the policies they actually implement. But it has appeared to us that Antonio Villaraigosa has made some comments about protecting Prop 13 that we think might resonate well. So among Democrats, he might be someone we take a look at. He's obviously knows how to run and win political races. So we'll just see how that shakes out. Gavin Newsom has said some pretty troubling things about taxes in California, things like single payer and things like that would be horribly expensive.
Now, we all hear about Prop 13, of course, Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association most closely associated with, but I don't think a lot of people know what it actually does. So maybe in 30 seconds or less, explain quickly what Prop 13 does.
Yeah, very simply, it caps the rate of taxation to 1% and limits the annual increase in the taxable value of your home to 2% a year. That provision has been very important for homeowners to make sure that they're not taxed out of their homes simply because their property has increased in value. So Prop 13 continues to be very popular in the state of California, even as it has drifted leftward. I think a lot of people realize that Prop 13 is that one thing that helps keep property taxes low.
Now, one of the knocks on that we hear is that it affects cities or counties be able to retrieve those tax dollars, especially when it comes to incentivizing building more homes. And we all know about the housing crisis in California because they only get a 1% increase on homes as opposed to tax revenue, say, using that land for a shopping mall. So what's the counter-argument to those who are saying that's why Prop 13 should be altered?
Well, to help the housing crisis in California, we just need to build more houses. That's the real answer. And it's hard to argue that Prop 13 has hurt housing stock in California, given the fact that we rank 17th out of 50 states in per capita property tax collections. So we are collecting tons of property tax revenues. So the claim that Prop 13 has somehow shorted local governments does not ring true, and most people understand that.
Well, when it comes to tax policy in California, this man's the expert, John Coupal in Fresno. Thanks for joining us here on GV Wire.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.